from the heart of Ball State University. Live from the Unified Media Newsroom, NewsLink Indiana starts right now.
Hello, welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Wikudakwa.
And I'm Josh Shelton.
Candy bars, peanuts, gum, and now blankets. Vending machines traditionally serve our sweet tooth, but a new machine downtown is now serving the homeless.
Lauren De Lorenzo is live with a story about a pilot program helping those in need. Lauren?
As hours of daylight grow shorter and the winter months draw near, not all of us will have the luxury of snuggling under a warm blanket after a Thanksgiving meal.
Yeah, we have to go through every single donation. I have to tally it.
But thanks to an initiative for Bridges Community Services, sorting out where to get warm clothing could be as simple as a vending machine. The machine operates from tokens, which are provided by Bridges Community Services.
A lot of times the hours are short, or your needs are on a weekend, or for some reason they can't get in to the organization during normal working hours. And so we were thinking maybe the vending machine could reach out.
The vending machine is just one part of a community effort to provide relief.
We'll see how it carries through. A lot of times, pieces like that, they're cool for 5 seconds and then people forget about it. But the, poverty level is definite here in Muncie. It's going to be sticking around for a long time.
The number of people without shelter in Delaware County is hard to track, but the most recent estimate in 2010 puts the number at around 200 people. Last year, the county was found to have the highest rate of child poverty statewide.
A lot of the younger generation and stuff like that in their late 20s and early 30s now that are literally homeless, so sleeping in their cars, sleeping in camps, sleeping in abandoned houses, and a lot of stuff like that.
But for now, BCS is shifting into gear for the winter months, putting up shelving to prepare for an influx of donations. Services like BCS are asking those who need help to reach out.
This isn't the first vending machine to be installed. Earlier this year, the United Kingdom has had programs similar to this, and a few have been popping up in New York City since then. Other organizations will be watching to see if this program proves successful. In Muncie, Lauren De Lorenzo, NewsLink Indiana.
And the vending machine was donated and programmed by Canteen Vending, and Bridges Community Services is now accepting monetary donations. More information can be found at bridgescs.org.
Now with the talk of blankets, I wonder what the weather's going to be like this weekend. Is it going to be hot? Is it going to be cold?
I think it's going to be cold, but let's double check with Alicia. Alicia, what do you have for us for weather?
Hi guys. Right now we have the current weather. Right now it is 39 degrees now with a very heavy breeze coming our way. And what's coming up later on in the day, 40 degrees later on, 30, and we'll be cooling on later into the day. And our 7-day forecast, we'll be talking about this later, guys. And yes.
The vote count is underway in northwestern Indiana County that hasn't reported any general election results yet. Porter County Commissioners and voter registration office say counting began Wednesday of ballot cast, and ballots were cast Tuesday during early voting as well as by mail. Vote cast after 6 p.m. on Tuesday at 12 county polling sites will be counted November 6th. In other election news, voters have agreed to collect an additional $50 million of improved security in Noblesville schools. 58% backed the measure Tuesday after a 13-year-old boy admitted to the night before to shooting a teacher and 13-year-old girl in May. The money will be used to employ more school resources, officers, safety, staff, mental health counselors, and rescue and keep teachers.
And Muncie will not be the location of a new charter school. The Michigan-based Way Academy withdrew its application to the Indiana Charter School Board this week. The corporation's superintendent says timeline issues were the main reason for the withdrawal. Muncie School Corporation and Ball State both opposed the school coming to Muncie in a letter to the Charter School Board. The Way Academy has no plans for other Indiana locations at this time.
Muncie takes the world stage. We'll tell you who will be surrendering Sursa Hall later on.
And a top White House official resigns hours after the midterm election results pour in. More after the break.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, she seems fine to me.
No more, not my problem.
No more, she was drunk.
No more, he was drunk.
No more, she was asking for it.
No more, he didn't mean it.
No more, why didn't she tell anyone?
No more, we don't talk about that.
No more bystanding.
No more ignorance.
No more excuses.
No more.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. Earlier today, Attorney General Jeff Sessions resigned after he says President Trump asked him to step down. In a letter to White House Chief of Staff John Kelly, Sessions wrote, quote, "At your request, I am submitting my resignation." Sessions Chief of Staff Matthew Whitaker will take over as acting Attorney General. Whitaker is also expected to take over the Russia investigation. President Trump tweeted that a permanent replacement would be nominated at a later date.
President Trump shared his views on the results after one of the most historical midterm to date. Even though Republicans lost control of the House, they maintained control of the Senate. Trump is confident legislation will still move forward.
I really believe that we have a chance to get along very well with the Democrats, and if that's the case, we can do a tremendous amount of legislation and get it approved. I really believe there's going to be much less gridlock.
Indiana helped the Senate remain a Republican majority of electing make Mike Braun over Joe Donnelly.
The best piano players in North America will be at Sursa Hall tomorrow. The Hastings International Piano Concerto Competition's North American preliminary round will be in Sursa Hall.
Celia Lavala has more on this story. Celia?
Guys, you could hear a pin drop here in Circe Hall, but that won't be the case tomorrow as competitors and spectators start to arrive for this competition.
The Muncie auditions we look forward to enormously because there are a lot of people who come, very talented from all over America, and it's a kind of highlight in the auditions.
The Hastings International Concerto Competition holds preliminary rounds at 5 sites around the world: London, England, Milan, Italy, Tokyo, Japan, Wuhan, China, and Muncie, Indiana. The decision to bring the competition to Ball State came after meeting Professor Robert Palmer.
He said, "Robert, I've got this little piano competition called the Hastings International Piano Concerto Competition."
When the competition comes to Ball State, the judges are able to eliminate some distractions.
They advertise for us, they do all the administration of it, which is brilliant for us.
This lets the judges focus on the music and the musicians like Ball State's Alvise Pascucci.
We're looking for somebody with magic. The world stops when somebody plays.
Vibo has that magic himself. He won the competition.
The competitions, the concerto competition.
Give the performance of their lives.
Young pianists, they've practiced for years. You hope you bring your A game.
You could take a seat in this morning and watch the competition unfold. Tomorrow night at 8, last year's Hastings winner. Live in Muncie, Celia Lavoie.
This round will host England for the semifinals to play alongside the Royal Philharmonic. The tickets for tomorrow night's performance are $15 for Ball State and MCS employees and $10 for students.
Now, when we come back, one Ball State team is facing challenges coming into their season. Find out what obstacles they're up against. And one facility at Ball State was voted one of the worst in the country. We'll tell you which one next.
For those who serve today and those who served before them, for those whose sacrifice will never end, the Gary Sinise Foundation shows its gratitude through entertainment, outreach, and life-changing support. We can never give enough, but we can always give a little more. Find out how you can donate at GarySiniseFoundation.org.
Sometimes there's no do-over. Some things you can't rewind. That's when an extra safety step could mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. Learn more at poolsafely.gov.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back. Despite Indiana's Republican leanings, Delaware County still remains a surprise in the midterm and presidential elections. Adam Panel reports on how the two parties remain competitive at the local level.
For some voters, the results of the Indiana Senate race came with its own surprises.
I was pessimistic from a conservative perspective. I was pessimistic going in. I thought there was going to be a big sweep of Democratic victories. That has not been the case. Republicans have won Indiana and they flipped it.
Mike Braun defeated Joe Donnelly in the Senate race, but despite Republicans sweeping Democrats out of office at the local level in Delaware County, political science professor Sean Hildebrand says voters shouldn't be surprised to see this back and forth between the two parties within the area.
Donnelly-Braun vote, Donnelly actually won Delaware County. So while he might lose the state, he did win locally. So you still see the divide here, where there's still a very dominant Democratic Party that exists. But of course there are still significant Republican votes too. And I think that's going to continue going forward just as it has. And we've seen in recent elections, Trump won Delaware County. Things like that. So it bounces around.
While some Republicans may have easily won their office, the local Democratic Party will still remain a player in upcoming elections for the near future. For NewsLink Indiana, I'm Adam Panel.
Now, it wasn't too chilly yesterday when people were waiting to vote, but I think the rest of the week's going to be a little bit chillier.
Do you think you're a weather expert? Alicia's our weather person. Alicia, tell us what the weather's going to be like.
Hi guys. So the current weather right now, the high today was 48 degrees and the low was 38. And the average high for today was 54 degrees and the average low for today was 35. But the record high back in 1975 was 77 degrees and the record low was 17 degrees. Across the nation, it is 51 degrees in Seattle, 73 in Las Vegas, and 62 in Atlanta. But locally here in Indianapolis, it is around 42 degrees. But as you get down south near Cincinnati and Bloomington, it is in the mid-40s. But up north, it is in the 30s, and that coolness will be heading our direction. As we look at the local radar, there are not many clouds right now, but going into later tomorrow, our precision cast picks up all the clouds coming our way as the chance for snow and rain are heading our direction as Thursday and Friday come to us. And tonight, it will be mostly clear, partly cloudy at 30 degrees. And then tomorrow, it will be 47 degrees, mostly cloudy with a slight breeze. And the 7-day forecast, Thursday, it will be nice and warm, but it will cool down heading into the weekend. But Friday, you need to watch out for the chance of snow and rain.
Thank you, Alicia. The SHU is a nationally ranked sports facility, but do we really want it to be? We'll tell you why coming up later.
And from World War II, Belgium to Fort Wayne, Indiana, we'll show you how a group of Ball State students brought a piece of history to life.
Isn't this perfect?
It was my pleasure. May I?
Adam, I can't thank you enough for saving me from that sweet everything.
It was a classic cat and mouse game. Remember, you never have to pay to play.
You're my hero.
Huh.
After all these years. What's the matter, Adam? Cat got your tongue?
Sure, I look cute now, but when my owner lost his job, it was rough. I was living on the street, and one night, me and this Cocker Spaniel got into it so bad, I wound up looking like an ice cream cone. I cried a little bit, but thankfully I got rescued, so I'm running, I'm jumping, all back to my old self. And I'm ready to give unconditional love, even if you put a lampshade on my head.
I'm a teacher. Let me tell you what I make. I make learning a privilege, not a chore, and frustration a tool, not an obstacle. I make working hard seem easy and giving up impossible. I make an old subject feel like a fresh thought and unconventional methods common. I'm a teacher. I make more.
Welcome back. I'm Bailey Shelton with your Ball State Sports. Ball State basketball is back. The men's team won over Indiana State last night at their season opener in Worthen Arena with a final score of 86-69. Tonight, the women are having a season opener of their own against Purdue.
As last year's WNIT banner rose to the rafters in Worthen Arena, head coach Brady Saley was getting one last practice in before his team started its season. With 6 freshmen on this year's roster, it's like a whole new team is taking the court, and these players have big shoes to fill.
For us, rebuild is not a word we subscribe to in this program. We want to try to do it better.
The team finished second in the MAC West Conference last season. Guard Jasmine Sims is the only senior player on the team, but she already has confidence in how the new players are going to perform.
They're going to be great for us. They all have a lot of energy. They all are very, very talented. You're going to see them all year, and I don't think there's going to be very many growing pains. You might see it once in a while when we get tired, but that's about it.
Coach Saley says players like Sims are also going to be valuable resources this season.
We can have that calming effect from somebody that's been there and done it. She can send the right message to the players about what's getting ready to come down the pike.
Sims says the team is enthusiastic about its first game against Purdue and that there are some surprises in store for anyone who comes against them.
So I think it's going to be more of a question mark for them and how they're going to guard us, and I think it's going to be a really good game.
Ball State women's basketball will play in Worthen tonight. The game starts at 7 p.m. And Ball State head coach Jay Agnew has announced that the men's swimming and diving team has a new assistant coach. Kelsey Hall was a 3-time state champion in 50 freestyle when she attended Yorktown High School, and she also swam collegiately for University of Kentucky and University of Miami in Florida. She will take on this new coaching position on November 17th when the team travels to Grand Valley State for a meet. Agnew said he's excited to welcome Hall to the Cardinal family. And Ball State's Schumann Stadium appeared on a top 15 list from the online magazine MoneyWise this week, but this ranking isn't exactly something worth celebrating. According to the publication, Ball State's home for college football is the 15th worst stadium in the country for fans to enjoy the game. The reasons for its standing includes limited parking and empty seats. The ranking should be taken with a grain of salt, though, because the main measurements for this list were online reviews and game day attendance. Well, guys, do you feel like that at the shoe?
Well, sometimes, it'll be filled up, I think, this weekend on Tuesday for their last home game.
Are you going to go?
Oh, I'll absolutely be there.
I'll be there.
I'll see you there.
Alrighty. And get breakfast for $1 tomorrow and pet some animals. At the same time, we'll tell you all about that event next.
And we'll tell you how a story that's been 70 years in the making will be out just in time for Veterans Day.
Hey, did you know 2.4 million loving cats and dogs in shelters and rescues need our help to find a home? Let's go to theshelterpetproject.org and meet if you are in a shelter near you. Harlow, oh, she's one great listener who loves to hear all your stories. My kind of cat. Cerulo is a sweet, goofy boy who's eager to please. Sounds just like another dog I know. So go to theshelterpetproject.org, search your local shelters and rescues, and go for a cuddle with your next best friend. Adopt.
Problems. The ones nobody talks about at cocktail parties. We go looking for them. No matter the obstacles, no matter the odds, we surround a community's most critical problems, and we fight. United Way fights for the health, education, and financial stability of every person in every community. Will you?
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. When I think of kids going to school hungry, hunger, homelessness, in this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
Good evening, I'm Cameron DeBlasio with your entertainment news. With Veterans Day right around the corner, a group of Ball State students is highlighting the experience of a man who served his country in the fight against the Nazi regime. Now, while he may not be an American-born citizen, he is without question an American-made hero.
It's just so amazing to see all these just like firsthand accounts and experiences and photographs of this time.
And now Micah Holtgraves and several other Ball State students have taken those photos and turned them into a documentary. Ball State TCOM professor Chris Fluke says it was a story that needed to be told.
People 20, 30 years from now can look back on the documentary and really see and hear someone tell their story firsthand.
But despite not seeing it as interesting, World War II veteran Gabriel Delob's story is about to be released for the world to see. Delob fought for Belgium and later moved to Fort Wayne. Fluke says Delob's life as a teenager was very different from his.
When I was 19, I was most definitely not sabotaging Nazi, supply trains. He just, I think, has a degree of humility that he couldn't see why anyone would be interested.
Ball State senior Jacob Cannon had a lot of interest in Delob's story.
I was very excited because, the Second World War is a particular interest of mine, so I was happy to be helping them out on it in a production capacity because, that's my chosen field. I was also excited to help, be there just to listen to his story.
After more than 2 years of hard work, Holtgraves says he's ready for people to see the hero he considers Delob to be.
I think it's very important for people that may not have had that experience of like having a grandfather that fought in the World War, that they could watch this documentary and just learn a little bit about what it was like and, hopefully learn something from it.
The documentary will air tomorrow night at 11 on WIPB, and if you can't catch it then, don't worry. It will also be available on the TCOM Department's Facebook page this Sunday. All right, now here's a fun one for you. Ball State animal activists are holding a Pancakes for Pups event this week to spread awareness about the work of the Muncie Animal Shelter. The group will be selling, you guessed it, pancakes, and if you're interested, they'll even have an adoptable dog with them. The pancakes will fly off the grill at $1 a piece. The group gathered today in front of the David Letterman building from 12 to 4, but if you missed it, you're still in luck because they'll be right back there tomorrow, same time, same place. All right, in our final story tonight, contestants will be gathering in Pruce Hall tonight to break out their best dance moves. The University Program Board is hosting Dancing with the Cards, a spin on the hit TV show Dancing with the Stars. It runs tonight from 8:30 to 10:30 and will include free snacks and hot chocolate. The event is free and open to the public. That's tonight's entertainment news. Back to you.
All right, Cameron, thank you. And Alicia, I hope one of those dances is not a snow dance, but I have a feeling that we're not going to be able to.
Someone has been doing the snow dance. There is a chance for a snow Friday. So make sure you guys have your coats this weekend because it will be cooling down going into the rest of the week. And that will be it for our weather.
Man, I'm not really happy that we're going to get a lot of snow, honestly. I feel like I've been enjoying the fall weather. I feel we didn't get enough of it, missed the heat, but I guess, winter's coming, so.
Yeah, I mean, we skipped fall earlier, and then all of a sudden we had fall for a little bit, and now we're going to have winter in November.
Snow is
It's not even Thanksgiving yet. Well, that's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join us again tomorrow night at 9, streaming live on the NewsLink Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anywhere, anytime, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a good night.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.